education station.
Oh my God, it looks so clear. I can't wait to shop.
I see a lot
Yes,
of
ma'am. Okay. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great.
Good. This is my pre-K teacher, Miss Jasmine.
Hey, Miss Jasmine.
How are you?
Oh my God. I love it.
All right. All aboard the EDU station. Hello, great afternoon. Happy Monday. I feel like I just got off the phone with y'all. I feel like I just got through talking with y'all, but I am going to go over here on my TikTok world.
This is the worst part.
So y'all give me a minute. I got to load up my TikTok just so that way I can go live over here as well. But we're going to start the program. Our guest speaker is going to be here around about 12:30. So I'm getting things ready for her to come on to speak. But while we're waiting, I am going to do a few announcements. So if you're catching the replay, if you at lunch, tell me in the comments, what is it that you're eating on? I haven't grabbed lunch yet. So if somebody want to drop some lunch off, it's two of us here. Miss Diamond, what you in the craving of? She wants some pork chops, barbecue sandwich, steak plate. I don't know. I'm craving potatoes. I want some potatoes. A loaded baked potato. Oh, that sounds real good. So let me know what y'all eating for lunch today. And I'm gonna make sure y'all let me know what y'all eating. Let me know what you eating, okay? Hey there, TikTok world. We are getting ready to go live. This is our Lunch and Learn kickoff. One of our coaches that will be coming to. I'm gonna go on here. I'm learning all this new stuff they got over here on StreamYard, y'all. If y'all they not promoting this video, they're not paying me for this advertisement. So oh no, we not bringing people on stage. We're not gonna do that. But if you know anyone that loves doing live stream or just recording themselves, StreamYard, y'all, they don't upgraded themselves a lot. When I say a lot. So get your educator bestie, get your friends, watch it while, some of y'all probably right now at lunch. Tell your other educators, we're going to be on for an hour. So if you can get them to come on into the room. Watch the replay a little bit later, but we're going to be talking about the importance of onboarding, the onboarding in the classroom, not onboarding when it comes to hiring. Hey, y'all, when it comes to hiring and everything else, yes, you're supposed to have those type of onboarding, but also having onboarding systems inside your classrooms. That way it flows a lot better. That way you don't have all this chaos going on where you don't know what the educators are teaching your class, or teaching your students, or how in the world is so loud in this building, right? Okay, y'all coming along. All right, so join in. Our guest speaker should be on here shortly. So while we wait, we're getting ready to do our Unleash Your Teacher workshop. It is September the 25th through the 27th. So it's a 2-day workshop, but we're going to have that extra day, that Sunday, where you'll be able to come in and shop at the EDU station. We'll get all your stuff shipped off, making sure that you'll be able to come inside the store to use your train bucks that you'll get at the EDU station workshop. On the back screen back here, y'all can't see it that well. I'm gonna try to see if I can fix the angle. But on the back part here, for those that are right here, I didn't put the link in. Here's the link, so that way y'all can have it as well over here on Look, I'm gonna figure this TikTok thing out real soon, but it's unleashyourteachersuperpower.com. And so you can go there to actually get the information about the conference, who this conference is for, who is not for. This conference is for childcare directors, ready to build a culture around inside of your childcare facility. You tired of putting out fires all day long. Trust me, I'm a director myself. Like today, I had to put out a fire myself. I said, well, I just left with instructions. How many of you feel like I be feeling? Like you gave instructions and then the instructions did not stick. And you like, why? Why is it not sticking? So I understand you. Trust me. I'm in that same boat. So lead teachers looking to master classroom management and create a thriving learning space. This is for you. Somebody is looking for a thriving learning space. How can I create where I can be on top of my A game when licensing come into the building, when enrollment tourists come into the building, that I don't have to get ready, I stay ready. Okay. Our next thing is our center owners want to elevate their program, reputation, and empower their entire staff. So that way, when it comes to classroom management, and I have to realize everybody's center is ran differently. Okay. Your center may be ran this way. My center may be ran that way. Everybody, I have an open center. My center do not have any doors. Only one door is the infant room. And so it's hard some days to keep the loudness down. And some days I want the loudness because I'm like my grandmama, if they ain't making no noise, something going on. What's going on? But we know the chaos. Dealing with the behavior children, as people say, I don't know how to deal with the behavior kids. Okay, what are you doing? What onboarding systems are you putting in place to teach your educators to deal with them behavior students? What onboarding systems are you teaching your staff right now as far as classroom management? And we can say people can have the cutest classroom set up. They can have everything else, but your rotation is messed up. Your classroom schedules, you're not scheduling. You're not going by them classroom schedules. Today, Monday, and everybody like, it's a Monday, honey. I just don't have a Monday. Y'all just do what y'all need to do. It's free day Monday. So you have no structure, no type of organization going on inside these classrooms whatsoever. We'll be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, September the 24th through the 20th. September the 24th is VIP. I keep saying the 24th, but the 24th is VIP, right? VIP, my virtual assistant has been working extremely hard. She keeps going on. Thank you, Miranda, for liking. She keeps sending me different things. As I'm talking to y'all now, she just sent me something else. So, but VIP, we have a special package for you on Thursday night. You will be here at the EDU station. We will have a lovely dinner prepared for you with some of our good food from Chattanooga, our southern food here in Chattanooga, some of our food trucks vendors. I'm trying to get them aboard to come here to give you a taste of Chattanooga. We'll also have some pictures, treat you like the VIP that you are. Okay, so see us on the 24th. Then the conference start on the 25th. So the 25th through the 27th, be here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We got you staying at the Marriott, which is lovely downtown. Downtown area has really evolved in Chattanooga. And I can say, Ms. Diamond, how you feel? It's Chattanooga downtown area from when we grew up to now. It's lovely, honey. It's so many attractions down there. That's why I picked it, because I'm like, most people that's been talking to me that's like, hey, I want to come to Chattanooga. I want to see this and that. They really haven't been able to experience Chattanooga the way we have. Y'all see my pictures. I be everywhere down there, downtown area. You got some food attractions down there. We have live band shows that play on Friday nights. So go ahead and book your discounted room today. Do not wait till the last minute, y'all, because we also have the Ironman that same weekend. That same weekend. If you know anything about Chattanooga and that Ironman walk and run, baby, they coming from everywhere. Everywhere. So if you are planning on being here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, September the 24th through the 27th, go ahead and book your rooms now. get that on a discounted rate. We also have the early bird that is going on right now. And I'm sorry for my people that's on over here that I'm not even turning this to where y'all can see it over here. I'm sorry. Y'all probably still can't see it because it's a little small. But the early bird VIP, the early bird VIP special right now, and I'm going straight to it where y'all can see it. Right now, it's $4.97 for the VIP. $4.97. We do have group rates. So if you're interested in a group rate, hey, if you're interested in a group rate and you like, hey, I want to bring my staff, I want to bring my team, just inbox me or find us on the EDU station website and I can send you the group rate. So that way you'll be interested in it. It's $4.97 right now. Okay, so go ahead and start getting your tickets. Don't be like, oh, nobody told me about the early bird. I just told you about the early bird. Just told you about it. Okay. Next is our general admission. These are going for $247. So you might want to come solo dolo. You like, hey, I don't know who you is, girl. I got to get to know you. I got to get to know who you are, what you're talking about. Come down and still enjoy yourself. Come down and learn more about how to get your classrooms manageable. We are dealing right now with a lot of teachers, the burnout of teachers, of educators. And normally the burnout becomes, and I'm also start interviewing some of our educators. So get ready. If I inbox you and say, hey, I need you to come on to be on the show, get ready. Even if you want to be on there today, if you're an educator and you want to come on and you want to tell me your process of onboarding, I give you the link to come on to the Stripe, StreamYard, to come and be a guest on here today. Or even if you're on TikTok and you want to be invited to be a guest, you can come on. I see somebody say, okay, hold on, wait a minute, invite. Okay, I'm inviting y'all. These my TikTok people now. These family over here. So while they waiting to accept their invite, I'm gonna go right on back into this website. So also, if you're a vendor, if you would love to be a vendor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, you would like to come and showcase your product to other educators, we have a vendor package right now. The first one is vendor package 1. It's the early bird is $250. We got 2 spots left in it. 2 spots, okay? And then our next one, that the early bird, that one comes with a vendor table space, logo at the conference on the booklets, social media spotlight, and we are planning on having a vendor Zoom call in May. So I'll be on the lookout on our website, or also on my Facebook page. When I say, hey, we're getting ready to do if you would like to be a vendor, you can come in and come and hear more about the vendor opportunity. So there's our vendor prices. If you know, hey, I have an educational product that I would love for other educators to see, come on in. Okay. We have probably 2 more spots for our title sponsor. We got 1 title sponsor, making sure that she's going to be on one of our podcasts coming up really soon. And so I didn't go over our superheroes, our super squad team, but this is me, LaShawn Carter. For those that do not know me, that's freshly coming into the room, I have been an educator for almost 17 plus years, probably a lot longer than that. I ain't really been adding and calculating, but I can always remember my aunts and my moms working in childcare and having to go to the daycare myself. Candy Castle, I'm a Candy Castle baby. Woo woo. So to all my Candy Castle alumni out there, hey y'all, how y'all doing? So I grew up in childcare. I've been around childcare for a long, long time, and so I didn't just get into this and say, oh, I just want to make money in childcare. No, I've been doing this. I have actually had to learn myself how to be a childcare owner, how to start acting more like a CEO and everything else. So I decided to open up my own in 2015. I did a home daycare. So in 2015, I did my home daycare and I branched out to getting a center. So it wasn't long, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. When people hear that, they're like, what? Yeah. So I worked in a childcare facility for 8.5 years. Then I decided to quit childcare. And all of us that's directors, owners, or been in childcare, you can feel my pain. Like you be like, you know what? Childcare just ain't for everybody. I'm just going to try something else. So I went into merchandising, which I had 14 stores at the time. I was a merchandiser. So I did drink merchandise. Let me say which type of merchandiser. So I would do the 7-Ups. So when you see your cranberry, your 7-Up drinks and all that, them are people that are real merchandisers putting their stuff on the shelves, making them displays look cute. Yep. I was one of them. And so I didn't decide, God decided to say, no, you're not giving up what path I have for you. So I ended up getting back into childcare in 2015 and opening up a home facility. So when I did my home daycare, it was a struggle at first because, again, I didn't know anything about operating on my own. I seen my aunt operating on her own, and some days was good and some days was bad. I'd be like, I look at my aunt like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. And look what God has me at now, being my own CEO, owning my own childcare. So in 2016, I decided to sign that I want to own a center because I grew out of my home daycare. I had 39 students in my home. So I had to grow out of that. Yes, don't do the math, don't add, don't say, oh, was she licensed? I wasn't. I'm going to go ahead and help you. Nope, I wasn't. Okay. I told y'all I didn't know anything. I didn't know no better. Okay. And so, just meeting different people, going to workshops, going to conferences, meeting other educators. When I tell y'all, it means something to me when I see people just at an event and I'm like, we become childcare sisters immediately or cousins immediately. Like, oh, girl, you never know when you're in the room with others, like what problems that they're facing too. You know, sometimes it's like, hey, I just need to get out of my own city to go join somebody else just to see what's going on. And so what got me into just talking about just onboarding and classroom management was the simple fact that I had problems in my own center that I had needs to face. Like, what is it that we have staff turnovers or people that don't want to stay long because of the onboarding, and then it's not on the onboarding. Oh, I don't know I don't know the mission. I don't know the value. I don't know this proper onboarding, which Coach Francis, if she graced us with her presence today, we'll be talking about the onboarding process. Why is it so important? Not the onboarding when it comes to just hiring people, the onboarding when it comes to just the classroom itself. Because see, we throw these teachers in a classroom and assume that, oh, since they worked at Miss Liddy's down the road and they worked at so-and-so up the road and, oh, they got X amount of experience, that they know how to run a childcare, they know how to run a classroom. And they don't. They have no clue. They just been rolling with the punches, just been getting inside these classrooms, doing what they need to do, creating lesson plans or not creating lesson plans. And then you get frustrated because you have parents that's like, hey, I'm not seeing any artwork, or what's going on in the classroom, or how do I get this proper onboarding? And we'll talk more about this at the Unleash Your Teacher Superpower event. So going on, I'm finishing up my talk over there. Thank you. So what does a successful classroom onboarding process actually looks like? And I can't see nobody's comments. I'm sorry. I don't move from over there. So if you are coming, I apologize. Let me put something. There we go. That way I can see on this side. I had to type something over there. So again, we're doing a lunch power hour. Tell us what you're eating today. Put it in the chat. Say, hey, I'm eating this, and this today. If you would like to throw a mashed potato or two over here, because I forgot to order our lunch today for our power hour, just ride by the EDU station. We at 2115 East 3rd Street. We waiting on a loaded baked potato. Preferably, I like pulled pork. What you want on your baked potato? Chicken. She wants chicken on her baked potato. I would like, I know sour cream, no bacon and all that other stuff. You can leave that to the side. I would like some cheese on there and a nice cold Sprite. That's the whole order. Somebody just bless us right now in the name of Jesus. Hey, Miss Mentor Share, what's going on? Do not feel bad, because that'd be me over here. I'd be like, okay. And my coach be like, you need to go on TikTok more. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get over there. Okay, I'm gonna get over there. But how's everything going over there on your Monday?
Oh, it's wonderful. I got some good news. It's wonderful.
Oh, I like good news.
Yes.
So, and what's the name of your program? I forgot to, let's just go through that. What's the name of your program?
Okay, so my program is called Gates and Bridges Learning Academy. So that's a center-based program, and then I still have my home daycare, home boutique childcare. We're gonna say not daycare.
Home
It's
boutique. I love it.
Yes, and that is called Tuesdays Family Home Daycare.
And Shell, you've been in this for like, how long have you been doing? I know family home. You've been doing that for a long time.
Yes. So I started in 2018. So what's that? 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we're talking about onboarding. So what do you have a classroom onboarding system that you use to like train your staff with?
So I have just been going at it like as I go, because anything that I have to duplicate, I'm writing it down and creating a system for it. So I do about 3 days of like onboarding orientation. And then like the next couple of days, they sit in each one of my classrooms. They don't do anything. They are just there to observe and take notes.
Love it.
And after they do that, they come back to my office the first thing the next day, and we discuss what they know, what they like, and what they learn. So by the time they're done, it's like a full 2-week process. By the time they're done, then we go to a classroom to help them kind of like transition and flow.
Okay.
So they're not just thrown into a classroom.
Because we done seen years ago. Now we season in this. We done seen if you throw a teacher in there, what happens. Or normally they don't go by your handbook, your policies. They going by old ways, meaning whoever taught them from their previous daycare experience, and they taking that same mentality trying to place it into your program. And then what tends to happen? You going back and forth. What you say? I don't have time to go back and forth with you, baby. This is what I'm teaching you what to do.
Right.
And that's one thing I said with classroom management. I had to learn that everybody's classroom management is not the same. And my thing is, you got to know what works for your program and what doesn't work for your program. I noticed that, like labeling, for instance. Oh, we got Coach Francis on the stage. Oh, we getting Coach Francis on the stage. So I'm bringing her on in. We got Shell over here on the TikTok land. Tell her, hey, Coach Francis.
Hello. Hey, Shell. Hope all is well.
Yes, everybody loves Coach Francis. I mean, the thing is, if y'all ain't met Coach Francis, baby, where y'all been at? Like, she has this voice. I always tell her, I said, her voice just attracts me to be like, what are we going to learn today? Like, seriously.
Like, I can listen to her voice. Like, and it's just so calming.
Yes.
And,
thank you.
Do this.
Yeah.
And if you don't do this, you know what's going to happen. And it's just so calming. I love her.
Oh my goodness.
She can hear you. She said, yes. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about doing this power hour. Awesome. Just Coach Francis is going to be at the conference talking to other educators, directors, staff members. I want everybody to come. They was asking me like, who is this really geared to? And I'm like, everybody. Because my thing is, who doesn't need just a little bit more help in their onboarding process? You might have something, but then you hear something else and say, I need to start doing that. When Shell said, no, I need them to sit down and actually observe. I don't want you to put your hands on a toy. I don't want you to talk to the other staff member. I want you to come back into the room and tell me, what did you see?
Right.
And what other childcare, I'm going to say daycare, I'm leaving that out. Childcare owner can say, yeah, I do observation. I let my staff do observation. I'm going to tell you, I did. I started that way, like the same way with Shell. I say, hey, 3 days, they work 3 days. The first 2 days, they observing what the classroom they're going to work in. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for them because they be like, oh, I want to jump in and actually do this. But you haven't went through the whole onboarding process. So how would you know how to jump in unless I coach you through how to do this? And so with Coach Francis, as y'all know, Coach Francis, if you don't know, me and Shell know. She has created onboarding systems for hiring your new staff member, for even leaders onboarding systems. Me and my leaders in the social, we was in the program, but we all in class. We in school right now. But the first two workshops she did, the first 2 classes that she did, it was amazing. It had me thinking more. Like I said, I stopped thinking like just I'm a childcare owner and start really thinking, hey, this is a corporation. This is a CEO level. I'm at a CEO level to where I don't know about you, Shell, but at that point to where you like, hey, I want to feel comfortable to get on a jet and go on by my business, or be able to go open up other opportunities or other businesses. I can't be stuck training a staff member anymore. I can't be stuck hiring anymore. So let me develop a system and a process. So Coach Francis called me up, as we always talking on the messenger, and she said, I got something new. I got something new. And I was like, what you got new? What's cooking? And she said, I'm going to do a leadership onboarding. And I said, oh.
That's good.
She said, I want to take all your directors, anybody that you saying that, hey, they're assistant director, they're part of your leadership team. I want to put them in a training to really elevate their leadership team even more. Oh, baby, she had us reading books. I said, Coach Francis, I can't read all these books and do my schoolwork. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm trying to read, even though I don't read the Atomic, which one was it? Atomic Habits before. We read that together. We don't read that book together. And then she pulled out a book that I had read years ago, which was the 90 days. I have been working that 90-day system. That's where I start doing my onboarding for my staff. It's called, I don't have that book here with me, but it's called 90 days. And if you catch it, if you get it, she teaches you how to start talking to your staff right within that first initial day they start. And what happens, even in onboard, I'm gonna let her talk, and she's gonna answer some questions and talk a little bit about herself. Even when it comes to onboarding into these classrooms, let me take this real quick. Just because I said childcare doesn't mean it doesn't affect people that don't own a childcare. I don't care if you own a beauty salon, you got an assistant, or you got you run a shoe store, anything like this. Onboarding is required for you as well, because see, you think they came from. No, I don't want to use that name because they in hot water right now. Well, I can. They work at Verizon Ride, and then they come over here from T-Mobile, or they come from T-Mobile and they go to Verizon Ride. You know, they 2 different companies. They run on 2 different operations. We got to stop thinking just because their background says this, that they can automatically just jump in here and they ain't got to worry about the onboarding. That's where we're messing up. That's why a lot of times that we have to go back. Like Shell said, I'm tired. I'm not going to keep repeating myself.
Right.
If you're an owner, director, a teacher, even a lead teacher, I don't do lead teachers and all that stuff in my child care program. I get confused trying to figure out. I want you to be confused who the director is when you walk in there, because I want everybody to be the boss. They say, hey, can I speak to the supervisor? And you're speaking, no. Everybody in here is supervisor. Everybody the boss at this point. Because them titles is what get people. I'm a lead teacher here at Glow Academy. Girl, look, do you know how to do the onboarding process? Do you know when to talk to a parent when it's time to transition? Do you know what's the routine and how to turn the routine into something? Do you know what the schedule is? Do you know how to do this? No. So we got to get to the point to where we stop looking at what their qualifications is. Somebody came to me and said, well, I got a bachelor's degree. Okay. I can put a bachelor's degree up to somebody that have no experience any day.
Yeah.
Any day. You looking at one. My first time working in childcare, people was like, oh, this is her first time working in childcare. They tried to play me like I was small, like I didn't know anything. Baby, I turned circle time into a whole game. As you can see, I'm fun to be around. And them kids was like, oh my God, I'm making that class. And then I became the toddler teacher. Moved up to being the pre-K teacher. And I developed my own onboarding. Didn't nobody teach me when I was walking into these classrooms. I had to develop it myself. I had to know, okay, what time we're going to do this and what time we're going to do this, how we're going to transition. My transition songs stuck with me to now when I'm in my own facility, I use them same transition songs. Now I done changed it because now I said, let the church say amen. Amen. Let the church say amen. They all say amen. I say, all right, today, congregation, we're going to do this today at the church. If anybody need to go over here to the pulpit, y'all know what the pulpit is?
What is the pulpit?
That's the book center. If anybody need to go over here to the pulpit and go talk to Jesus, kneel down and go talk to Jesus and read a book, go ahead. But we ain't no crime inside of here today. Now, what we finna do, we're getting ready to transition and go over here to circle time. Let the church rise. And it works. If my admin on here, she'll tell you, yes, she do. She has these kids saying, let the church say amen. Amen. And we pray. Because I tell them, I said, we're going to pray our way through this day and let God handle the rest. If whatever you was fighting with when you was outside these doors, let God handle it. You inside now. Let's go ahead and have fun. And some kids, they feel that energy. They feel that teacher's energy. And so if that teacher's energy is not right, guess what? They're onboarding. Their classroom for to be all tore up. It's going to be all tore up. If you don't have so much chaos going on in there, that teacher going to be tired. And guess what you get, Shell? Hey, today will be my last day. Due to
sometimes not even that.
Or they go on lunch and don't even come back. She said. Right. So let me introduce Coach Francis. Thank you, Shell, for tuning in with us. You can stay up here if you need to go. You can go. But we on Facebook Live. We on YouTube and everywhere else. So hey, y'all, this is the beautiful. Don't know. Oh my goodness, my sister, my friend. Y'all. I've been knowing Francis. I was trying to put a date of how long I've been knowing Francis. I've been knowing Francis for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't meet a stranger. I do not meet a stranger. And if y'all done seen Francis on my platform before, y'all already know I met Francis in the elevator. I came down. She was talking to somebody at the hotel at what was the hotel? The Dury Inn.
I don't even remember.
Anyway, it was 2016. I want to say it was 2016. That was my first childcare conference. I was so excited to be there, and I couldn't believe it was so many people that was in childcare that was just like me, or in a higher level. See, I'm one of them type of entrepreneurs. I want to be in rooms that, hey, I want to elevate where they are. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to this lady. I overhear her conversation with her daughter, and it was like, we sold out of hotel rooms. I was like, well, girl, I got 2 bags. I mean, you can come stay with me. And they on that offer, and they was like, "Yes, they don't know if I'm Jason, the killer or not. They just like, look, we're gonna pray our way through here. She seemed crazy. Let's go." So they came. We had we didn't even sleep that much. We was up talking after each session. We just took in, and we was like, "What are we going to apply?"
Absolutely.
And when you leave a conference and you get around, like when I say group rates or hey, join, come and do this. I go with people and I'm like, hey, what did we learn from that session? How did that empower you to move your business to another level? So I remember the night when me and her was talking and she was like, I think I want to write books. I want to do this. And I was like, oh, okay. We wrote, and I'm one of them friends. I'm going to write all your goals down because I want to make sure that you implement everything you done told me. I'm that friend going to write your goals down. I'm that friend that's also going to push you. And so 2022, we was on a call and Francis, 2024, you said you wanted to write 6 books.
Yeah. A book every quarter.
Every quarter. So every quarter, I was getting a notification that she wrote a book.
Yeah.
I was like, Francis, how you doing this? Every quarter.
2024.
So I'm honored to have you as part of the Unleash Your Teacher Superpower event. I'm so excited where God has been taking you even further. I mean, from just a simple fact, it started from a hotel room of us just talking. So we've been this long talking about our goals. Like people don't understand when you go to a conference, you find your tribe. You find who will motivate you and understand, hey, it ain't just me talking like an ideal. This actually, let's put this to work, sis. Right. When I told you about the EDU Station store, I said, hey, I'm coming out with a store. I was like, okay, LaShawn, that's real good for teachers and educators. You know? And then when I was like, the grand opening is in May. I had my grand opening in May on my daycare parking lot. And then I said, I want it bigger. I said, I think it needs to be bigger. I want to teach CPR classes. I want to do this. I want to give back to the community. Francis and a whole bunch of my other team members was like, okay, what do we need to do? I was like, pray my way through this. And so now we're in the storefront, in the EDU station storefront. Being here now,
beautiful.
3 years? 3 years.
3 years. Wow. Wow.
I had to cry for a moment the other day when I was down here, and I was just like, I've been here 3 years.
That is
three
excellent.
Successful years. And Coach Francis books us over there.
I gotta get some more
station over here of books. And
that is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, when you think about it, 3 years, and everything just started from just having, like I said, my powerful sister Francis Davis just pushing me, not letting me give up on myself. Just keep talking words of encouragement, like you heard what Shell said. She got this voice that'll be like, "No, LaShawn, let's just take some baby steps. Let's just look at this.
We're going to rethink that.
I'm going to speak positive on this. Not going to say the negative things. Speak positive." And so you can't ask for a better sister than Coach Francis. So we're going to dive right on in. She's going to be teaching on the onboarding process of classroom management at the Unleash Your Teacher Superpower. The link is below for those that are on the TikTok. It will be in my bio. You'll be able to go on there. Right now, we have the early bird specials that's going on right now. If you're catching the replay a little bit later, please let me know if you can see the link and get everything, and I'll make sure that we post the link again. So, Coach Francis, I want to go ahead and dive in. I got 5 questions for you before I leave. Because, we got to hurry up and get back from lunch. We still over here waiting on our loaded potato, chicken, and pork over here, okay? Sweet tea, if you got it, I'll take a Sprite. You want water or sweet tea? Diamond will take a water. You want water or sweet tea? No, I'm just putting this. How you got to put it out there in the atmosphere? She gonna take a water. So if you want to drive by 2115 East 3rd Street and drop off some loaded baked potatoes, that's what we craving today.
That sounds good.
On it. What you say? And she needs chicken. I just want some pulled pork.
Ooh.
Cheese on the top. You can leave the bacon on to the side. And a cold Sprite. Feet quacking, baby. But anyway, that's our lunch. Whatever you having for lunch, let us know in the comments. So, Coach Francis, how does onboarding transfer a classroom's energy when it's done right?
Oh my goodness. So let me say this. I'm super excited about this conversation, LaShawn, because sometimes, and I do want to mention this because I really don't think that every single, and I'm going to say childcare business owner because that really is, our focus, but really any business owner who skips onboarding, I don't think they understand how detrimental that will be later on. Sometimes we think we can push things off to another time when we have time, not realizing that when we skip onboarding, we are setting ourselves up for failure. It may not happen right away, but trust and believe it is coming. And so I'm so excited that you see the vision of bringing this to your audience. And so I'm so excited. Anybody that is listening in live, or if you're coming in later, click on the link she was just speaking about, because you don't want to miss this conversation. It's going to be so important. Now, when it comes to what you just said about the classroom, when it's done right, it will definitely shift the energy in the room, because the one thing that it does is it replaces confusion with understanding. It makes things clear. When a teacher walks into a classroom, when it's time for on-the-job training, because there is a period of time that I believe is, along with many others who are successful in implementing onboarding, we believe that there is a time period where you are not going to be inside the classroom until you have made it known through assessments, through conversations, that you understand what is to be expected. Right. And so once you get into the classroom and you have this knowledge, you have this toolkit that has been given to you, you didn't have to figure it out, you understand the importance of not reacting to things that are happening. because you know what's expected. And
Right.
so it actually creates a teacher who is confident. And I'm probably going to repeat that again, because what I do notice about childcare business owners, or owners in general, their confidence increases when they increase the confidence of those who are following them. And so
Mhm.
I think that that's what happens when it's done right. You notice a teacher who is fully confident. And let me give you a picture of what this looks like. If you have a team member, and this team member is always asking a lot of questions, they don't seem to be sure of themselves. And I may have mentioned this before. They just are weary about moving forward, and their confidence is low. And you notice that as a childcare business owner, or an owner in general, sometimes I notice that the owner will almost in some way blame that on the employer. I'm sorry, the employee, unintentionally. I think sometimes, I don't think oftentimes they're doing
Mhm.
it on purpose, but they think there's something more that that team member needs to do, you know. But the problem is that we don't look at that situation and think, what have I done? Have I not given the tools that you need? Have I not assessed whether or not you truly understand what is to be expected? And so I think if we look at it from that perspective, when we see an employee asking a lot of questions, they're repeated questions sometimes, or they just don't feel confident in initiating. I know that that's a problem sometimes. We want them to initiate. And if they're not doing that, we need to look inwardly. We need to take a look at our onboarding, how we set them up for success, because maybe we dropped the ball. It might not have been the teacher who dropped the ball. Maybe we didn't give them the tools that they needed in order to do the job that we're paying them to do. And so,
Mhm.
again, to answer your question, when it's done right, you have teachers who move in clarity, they move in understanding, they don't react to everything that's happening. They understand what is supposed to be happening in that classroom, and they know what is expected of them. The conversation is smoother. Smooth conversation is so necessary. Communication is so necessary. And when they don't get an opportunity to do that, when there's no consistency, it's going to act out or play out in the day to day that we see. And we need to make sure that what we see, we rightly understand where it's coming from, what the root of it is. It's
Right.
not always the teacher. So that's what I would say. When we're well onboarded, our classrooms, this is my favorite part about this that I have learned along the way. When we properly onboard, our teachers do more than manage. How many times have we said, I want teachers who know how to manage the room, they know how to manage the
Yep.
classroom? The problem is this, though, because when they're just managing, they are literally just reacting to everything all day, you know? What
Mhm.
we want them to do is to stabilize the classroom. We want stabilizers, because a stabilizer is going to prepare in advance. They're going to notice
Mhm.
that their classroom is run much smoother because they have stopped issues before they could even start. And so we don't want teachers that are just managing. You know, if you take a picture of that, if there are fires happening all around me and I'm just putting them out as I go, yeah, I'm managing it. But that's not what we want. We want teachers who understand how to stabilize their classrooms. And so that way, I might have over answered your question.
No, honey, I'm seeing here. See why me and Shell said it's that voice. It gets you to get your systems in place. If you don't have an onboarding system, you better come to this conference, because she's gonna give you one to help you
Mhm.
with your classroom. She said we don't need no teachers out there just putting out the fires. I
Right.
hate when somebody say you all you do is putting out fires all day. All I do is put out fires all day. Well, why are you putting out fires all day, sis? What's going on?
Right.
Why can't we stop putting out fires all day and actually implement what system do we need to implement? I talked about that this morning on
Mhm.
my live, just like getting systems to stop trying to do this and do that. Just get a system to in
Right.
place. And you said
Right.
something else. You said that the employee needs to be. We need to stop saying we need a manageable employee and a more what?
Right. We don't want teachers who are only managing classrooms. We want stabilizers. We want them to stabilize the classrooms because they're preventing things in advance from happening. And so our language literally needs to change. We'll find what we need when we actually say what we want. We don't want managers of classrooms. We want stabilizers.
Do stabilizer. She stays. Shell over here doing like this. Yes. Because
It's
we do.
true.
And I'm a child care owner, and I know it done came out my mouth. I'd be like, I just want somebody just to be able to manage these
Yeah, we
classrooms.
do. We say that, you know.
And we need to be careful of our language. It's not just managing it. It's okay.
That's why I wrote that whole book, The Language of Onboarding.
Yes,
because once our language changes, we will see what we're saying. Right now, we're seeing what we're saying, and what we're saying is not accurate, but we don't always know it. And so we're asking for things that our predecessors asked for, or people that we work around, where our language tends to be the same, and they're having the same issues that we might be having. So we have to change our language and know exactly what we want. So when we say we want people to manage the classroom, we don't realize that what we actually want is somebody who is stabilizing that entire environment, and they want to do it. But if we don't know that that's what we want, we won't put measures in place to teach them or to prepare them to do it. We are preparing them to do what we keep saying we want. But what we don't want is managers. We want stabilizers. And let me say this too. It does not happen by accident. Like, I believe that some childcare business owners and owners in general have taken on this mindset, sink or swim, right? We've all heard this. Oh, they're going to sink or swim. That is inappropriate for an owner to say or think. We do not want them to sink or swim. We want them to get in, and we want to train them. We don't want to watch to see what they're going to do. We're literally, again, setting ourselves up for failure when we just put them into a classroom, depending on what was written on the resume, which can be false for all we know. We don't know where the resume came from. And in addition to that, if they are using knowledge that they received in another facility or under another leader who we would not even operate in the same way, then we are setting ourselves up again for failure. And I know I keep saying that, but that's what we're doing by not training and teaching our people from the get-go. So that first week is going to really teach or structure our new hires in explaining what we want from them. And so it's not sink or swim. It is train the teachers to know what they need to know and assess whether or not they understand it. Throw the resume out. It has its place. And I know you mentioned this earlier, but it's not something that I know I personally use. It's in the file, but I do not, my strength does not come from what they say they know or what they picked up along the way.
Right. And for my TikTok people, I see you saying add you as a guest. So we are talking about, if you're in the field of education and you got you can come in and here. We already had our moment to where you can introduce yourself and everything else. And we'll come back to it as well. But we're talking on Facebook Live right now about classroom onboarding and how that looks like. Everybody's center is done differently. Everybody has their own techniques and skills, but Coach Francis has been doing onboarding for many, many years with educators, leaders, directors, teachers. I'm not just going to leave out our K-5 teachers, because some of our K-5 teachers have been reaching out to me like, hey, is this for me? Yes, it's for you. Because we know that you get our kids from the childcare sector and they come into your environment. And so we know them teachers that be like, oh, I know what center you came from. Oh, I know what childcare program you came from. Because they can tell how that child operates, or that educator had a great classroom management setup. And so right now we got Coach Francis. She's talking about the onboarding process and how it looks far as training the teachers, making sure we as educators, as owners and directors, watch our language. If you haven't, I know I haven't put her link over here in TikTok land, but it's Serve Well Solutions. You can look her up on Facebook at Francis Davis. Are you on TikTok, Francis?
I am, but I'm not utilizing TikTok.
No, she ain't using TikTok.
Right now, yeah.
I'm gonna get my sister over there. Don't worry. But she also has a book that's called the Language of Onboarding, which talks about how we speak when we get into teaching our educators or doing our new hires. How we need to watch that sink and swim. We need to stop saying, "Oh, they ain't gonna last long."
Flush that out, right?
They only gonna be here about 5 more minutes, because I know I don't say it too. Sometimes, you think you're not saying it, but your face can say it too.
Yes, yeah.
Do y'all not know your face expressions of one of them killers? Because I had somebody tell me you didn't have to come out your mouth; it's just the way you look. And I was like, whoa, what did I look? How did my face look? So now I just be walking around like this. Because I don't want
that body language speaks louder than our words.
And that's a part of onboarding, because I'm right now, right now I'm training my 2 toddler teachers. They going through my classroom onboarding class that I'll be teaching after the whole conference that we have. I'll be teaching that as well and talking to them. And I'm like, okay, Sean, you can't put your, I'm so ready to dive in there and do it. But how's that training them for how to redo their boards and how to do this? And I have to learn that I have to be the teacher. I can't go in there and try to do their work for them. And so one thing about what you had said, again, you already answered my second one. How does the what's your must-do structure for the first week of onboarding? Like, how does that first week of onboarding really looks like? I love what Shell said when she said, no, they're gonna observe first. You're gonna sit there and just be the observer. I want you to pretend like you licensing and you tell me, what did you look for? What did you see?
Absolutely.
What is it that I know I need to correct? Well, I thought somebody was gonna jump by here, but it's okay. Maybe next Monday. Bye, Miss Diamond.
Just put mine in the microwave.
Okay. Have a good night. So, but that's one thing I had to learn, and I'm pretty sure Shell, Francis, all of us, we had to learn when we are training these educators that we have to remember we was once them.
Yeah.
Was we not? You know, nobody sat down. I don't know about y'all. When I got into the educational field, I was like, oh, okay, so what am I supposed to do with these little people? I would never forget when I opened up my own home daycare and I called my mom and I was like, I opened up a daycare. She was like, what? Say what? Yeah, I just thought I just opened up a daycare today. Now I got these 2 kids. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, all my train of thought just went out my head. And I'm on the phone with my mama like, help me. And literally she was like, Sean, you've been doing this all your life. You know what to do. You know, come on here, go get some poster boards. We went to the Family Dollars and setting up the class, setting up my home, my living room, looking like a child care center. And literally that's that first week of onboarding and making sure that they feel comfortable, that not just the kids feel comfortable, but that staff member feel comfortable. How many of you got staff members? I'm just asking to the audience. How many of you got staff members that tell you, I don't want to work the info room, and you put them in the info room anyway? They give you a key warning. I have no clue what to do in this info room. I'm scared of infants. I'm but you throw them in that room anyway. Me personally, that's the first sign of onboarding. When I have that connection with that teacher, and if I know that, for instance, she's real, she got a real calm voice, she will be perfect in that info room. Why would I stick people where they already done told me where they don't want to belong?
Right.
That's the first part of it. And I see it all the time when I go to different child care centers and go be a mentor and do this. And I'm talking to educators like, I don't think I'm the right fit for inside this classroom. It might be me. And then when I see how that teacher operates in the classroom, I'm like, yeah, she's not a pre-K teacher. No, she might be good over here. I said, what else is you good at? What else do you do? You know, so that's me, for instance. That's one thing I look at when I'm doing that classroom management, when I'm getting ready to onboard them, making sure I'm putting them where they are, that their strengths are really shining. I don't want you to get in somewhere and you like, Shell, I really don't like this toddler room. And it shows every day when she walk into that classroom. Every day. Right. And your parents.
And what you just said. And what you just said, and we're not talking about pre-onboarding right now, but a lot of those things can be discovered during pre-onboarding. And so you're not collecting important information like that and other things once they've been hired, you'll know ahead of time. So many people just leave onboarding up to chance. And it really shouldn't be, because it's during that first week that habits are being formed. And so if I'm a new hire and I notice I'm just being left to myself, that's a habit that leader is forming in my experience. And it's not a good one, because what happens is they're teaching me how I'm being treated. And I'm going to do the same thing, with my classroom, because no one really cares. And so your expectations are set we're literally, and the owner sometimes doesn't always understand that even though they have a lot to do and they're unseen, they're still teaching the new hire something. And it may not be the owner, it may be a manager, it may be another leader. But even when you are absent, you're still teaching your new hire what to expect from you. You're teaching your new hire that you're not really considering their confidence to be a priority. You're teaching them to develop habits that you do not want in the business. And so I'm always saying that there are some things that are totally non-negotiable. And so you want to make sure your expectations are clear. What I'm noticing though is that sometimes the owner or the manager doesn't know the expectations themselves. And so what are we teaching the new hire? And so they need to know exactly what's expected of them. One of the things that I use in my onboarding framework, because I do build, as Coach LaShawn was saying, I do build onboarding portals for business owners and non-childcare business owners. So one of the things that I always incorporate in there with the newer boards is, what does success look like? And there's a link for that. And so when they click on it, they get to read about that particular position, that particular job, that particular institution, and they can see in writing what success looks like for me, because they're not left to guess. And I think that that's important. And so you also want to be observing, but the observation needs to be guided. Too many times we're sitting and just staring at them. That's not what we want. We want to actually know what they're doing and whether or not what they're doing coincides with the vision, not just watching. What are we watching for? Sometimes we place people or buddies over the new hire and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And we think we've done something. We have not at all. We want to give hands-on practice, but we want to support them with the hands-on practice, because this is where confidence begins to build. If someone is there with me while I'm operating in my job or my position and they give me immediate feedback, this is where my confidence can build. This is where I can remove activities that don't belong before I start making habits of those things. And then, 90 days later, all of a sudden, I'm learning about what I shouldn't have been doing from the first week, instead of being told that first week that I need to shift gears or I need to think about some other type of, you know what I'm saying? The other thing too, I would say, is there should be daily check-ins. Every day, somebody needs to be in charge of making sure I'm okay. And if it's not the owner, so be it. But where's the buddy? Where's the manager? Where's the onboarding staff support? Somebody needs to be responsible for making sure I'm good every single day. And I should have an opportunity to share what my experience was during my onboarding. And so if there's a question that I have, if I need to reflect on something, if I need support, somebody should be in charge of making sure that I get those things. It should not be left up to me to seek someone out. I just don't think that's right. We want people to initiate, but we have to understand that when we have new hires that come in, they're already deciding, is this place safe for me? They're already deciding, am I getting support? They have a lot on their mind already. And so they should not have to think about who am I supposed to find to support what I'm doing this week? What am I doing next? What am I supposed to? When is my lunch break? Like nothing. They should not have any questions about what they should be doing during the day. And so many of them do. And so if I had to say what absolutely could never be skipped, clarity and check-ins. There should be understanding and we should be checking in. And if we don't have those, our onboarding experience is going to slowly break down. And like you said earlier, the person will not show up from break. They won't come back the next day. And then we're blaming them, not realizing they did not get what they needed.
Yes. And even if you're a home daycare provider, I like Shell word boutique. If you're a boutique center, it still applies with you as well, because I see a lot of the boutique owners. They want to get out more. They want to be able to go to these childcare conferences or workshops and be able to go do other things to grow their business, but they don't have an onboarding process that can help them to be like, hey, when I'm at the center, this is what needs to happen. Now, Coach Friends, you went on here earlier when I was telling them my Monday been a Monday, right? I know your Monday been a Monday, but I had to pray and just say, nope, we're going to get through this and go on about my business. I left my center with awesome staff members, awesome little bosses there, and gave everybody instructions, was like, okay, I wasn't gone 5 minutes and I got a phone call. I said, okay, let's run down this one more time. I want you to put me on speakerphone. This is what is to go. And it's like, sometimes I feel like even in our onboarding, I'm saying this for a reason, because even in our onboarding, we think they get it, that first, oh, they good in that 90 days. Sometimes you got to hit that reset button and go right back into there and making sure they understand what is it that you really, your expectations really are for them. Because this is how you wing out people that's there to see you grow and people that's there just for the money.
Right.
Let me say that again. People that sees my vision, that sees that, hey, I see that this company will help me educational wise, help me with just this and this. They would zone in on your onboarding. They would zone in on whatever you teaching them and training them or sending them out to go get extra additional training, right? Versus the ones that, okay, well, I'm just gonna do whatever she'll do. I'm just gonna do whatever Rebecca do. I'm just gonna follow them and not really ask them questions. It's not, a lot of people say, I just can't approach my director. Why are you working with somebody that you can't approach?
Yeah.
So that lets me know off the top that no one did a classroom management training with you or an onboarding training with you. If you telling me that you cannot approach this person to know what is the expectations for you in this program. Just got hired to be the toddler teacher. That's all, honey. I'm just coming here and do my day. I just come do my job every day. That's it. Don't ask me nothing else. I change diapers, wipe nose. And I'd be like, okay, cool. But it's not cool because guess who's affected by that? Them children. Them kids are affected by it because you're not here to really grow with me. You just here to collect a check from me. We can do both. We can grow and collect a check at the same time, but at the same, I want to see you grow. And that's what makes me, I think that's what makes me different as an educator as well. When I'm doing like directly talking to my staff and everything else, I tell them, I said, everybody got a season. And I shout out Miss Tiffany for reminding me this. Last year I was at the Child Care Millionaire Conference and she was telling me, I asked her a question and she said, I had to realize that every staff member has the season to grow with you. And then it'll be a season to that they have to remove themselves from you. And I said, oh, okay. You know, because sometimes you get some of them staff members become family and you don't groom them. You don't got them to where they understand share sales policies. They understand everything that you got going on. And then they like, hey, I'm checking out. I got to go. I got to leave. And then we wait to that last minute. Ms. Torres said, that's good. So we wait to that last minute to go check on that employee. Oh, she doing good because she never came back and complained to me about nothing wrong with her job. We wait to go and do a daily check-in, just say, hey, how's everything going? But when they call you and say they're not returning back to work, that's when you want to be like, well, what happened? Everything good? I thought everything was good at work. No, it wasn't. When I say sometimes I wish I know I had an amazing baby room teacher. And I say this every time I see her, even in Chattanooga, I say, you was an amazing baby room teacher. But I knew she wanted to do other things in life. And I said, okay. And I was okay. At first I wasn't okay because I was like, no, I wanted to keep her. I was going to pay her more. I was going to do it. Even one of my child care coaches was like, pay her a little bit more. See if she wants some more money. If you really like her, see if she wants more money. It wasn't about the money. She really wanted to see if she can do something better. Like she can do something. Y'all, I kid you not, I miss that lady because, baby, I ain't never, like, when the infant room, it would be like, hey, the Christmas tree will still be up and she'll still have stuff on that Christmas tree from February, October. It will still be, and the classroom was calm. You'll walk in there, you're like, oh, wow. Is there babies in here? What's going on? Because normally you in the baby room, babies doing what? Crying or they upset, they fussy. I never hear a baby cry, really. And I asked her, I was like, how do you do that? She said, I guess I just got to give. I always, as I say, what are you doing? She always had a system. She came in, she did the same routine. She made sure that she stayed with her schedule. She made sure that lunch was done right. She made sure this was done right. You'll know if that teacher is missing. If she missed a day, that classroom is off the chain.
So she was a stabilizer.
Yeah, you got one of them educators in your building that's like, you can't miss a day. Where you say you going? Can you not do that on the weekend? You scared for them to miss a day. But that's scary because we need to train everybody to be like her,
Mm.
to improve how we need to do our onboarding. So my next question to you is, how do you guide teachers to set up the onboarding for the next teacher?
Hmm. That's a really, really good question. And this is what it makes me think of. If I was having a house, just this is just for illustration purposes. If I was having a house built brand new from the ground up,
Mhm.
and the builder came to me, to me and my husband and said, well, we are going to need you all to lay the foundation. We would look at them like they were crazy. We know nothing about that. That's what childcare business owners, leaders are doing when they do not train their teachers if they expect to train others. And so being a teacher, you naturally want to step into leadership. It's just something I think that comes naturally. But the problem is if we don't prepare our teachers to onboard or support other teachers, we don't know what's being taught. And so we have this poor habit of assuming based on just things that we make up in our head about that particular staff
Mhm.
member. They may have a lot of pluses in many areas, and we make an assumption that they know what to do. And it's a poor decision to make because we don't know what they're actually teaching, and we don't know if they're prepared to even do it. Because if they're not clear themselves, if they're not confident themselves, and this too, if they're just following systems, that's not enough if they don't know how to reinforce the systems. Okay, just because I'm following a checklist or I'm following a system that was placed inside my classroom, if I don't know how to reinforce it with someone else, I'm no
That's good.
good to the new teacher that's coming in. And so I kind of guide them through what looks like supporting someone else. And so just because someone, again, and we go back to the resume, because I know you had started off, well, when I came on talking about that, just because something is printed on the resume, leadership opportunities, leadership experiences, doesn't mean that I really know how to lead. It just may be an experience that was listed there, but I can't
Mm.
vouch for that. I can't vouch for that for my business. And so I must teach. I'm responsible for teaching my teachers, my team members on what it looks like to support someone else in my business. That's what I go by. And so, for instance, if I understand the importance of clear communication, but the place you came from did not, I need to be able to teach and make sure that you understand what clear communication looks like. And so I must teach what patience looks like. I must teach and show by me modeling what expectations are. I have to do that
Yes.
first before I can expect someone else to teach my team or any of my team members. And so this is what I think is most empowering. And I know we've said this before, but this is important. When my teacher is confident and they are clear on what's expected, they are literally equipped to do what we need them to do. And they're not going to resist leading others because they're clear on what the expectations are and they're confident. They'll step right
Right.
into it smoothly. And so that's what I would say. I would never push anybody into that experience assuming that they're going to be great. I would prepare them for that, which means I have to prepare myself and I have to know what I need. So that's what I would say about that. Stop requiring new hires or teachers to lay a foundation themselves that we were
Mm.
supposed to lay.
Stop requiring teach. Oh, okay. Look, I don't know about y'all. I got my notepad right here. I got my notes
We're
right
doing
here.
it
So
all the time.
I
We're
got my
doing it all
notes.
the time. We're essentially telling them, hey, can you lay the foundation here? We're not saying it in that way, but we're literally doing that. We're
Or
supposed to
we
lay the
create
foundation.
SOPs and knowing that you ain't following the SOPs, so then you want these people to follow the SOPs,
Right.
and
They're
they
just on
don't.
paper. We're not in
Yeah.
agreement with them. They're just on paper
Mm-mm.
so we can say we have them. We don't actually agree with them or follow them. We just
Not at
have
all.
them. And that's not enough.
I hear people be like, "Oh, I have SOPs. I have this, and this," and I'm like, "Okay, do your staff understand what the SOPs are? Do they follow the SOPs?"
Mhm.
I like I said, I am right now conducting the classroom management with two new teachers in my toddler program, and
Mhm.
so I recorded them asking them what is classroom management mean to them, what is onboarding for them, and
Mhm.
both of them had two different answers, and I can't wait to show it. The video at the conference of what they thought what onboarding is, and it comes on right
Mhm.
before you come on. And just that way everybody has their own opinion of how onboarding, like I asked Shell, what is her classroom onboarding, just from a teacher's aspect, what do they think what the onboarding is? They don't know what your onboarding is. They like, hey, I mean, I guess transitioning and creating lesson plans and making sure the kids happy. You know, that's what they think the onboarding is. They don't know what classroom management onboarding really is until somebody sit down with them, like you just said, lay out the foundation. Let's take assuming away from it and actually show you what classroom management onboarding looks like. Let's actually walk you through these proper steps. And that goes right into my next question is, what do you do if a teacher push back? Because I hear from directors, they don't want this training. They don't want to do no training. They, you know, that language again, you know, ouch. Ouch. You speak out your mouth.
Exactly.
But what do you do? What's your next move to get them back on track?
Right. And I love that you said that, because we literally put our own foot in our own mouths when we say those things. And I think for some people, it's a way to not look at yourself. Because sometimes I think business owners are afraid to actually look at themselves in their behavior. And it's a lot easier to push it off on the teacher, what the teacher doesn't know, what the teacher isn't displaying, because they don't have to face themselves in their negligence when they push it over, you know, to someone else. But this is what I would because I think that, and this is with anything, if you notice a signal or what you could even call a symptom, it actually is rooted somewhere. And so if a teacher is giving pushback, because essentially what onboarding is, it's to protect the teacher, it's to protect the business, it's to protect the classroom. And so if somebody's pushing back on that, I would see that as a notification. Like that would be a check for me to say, well, wait a minute, something must be unclear. Or is she or he overwhelmed? Do they misunderstand what this is about? That's where I would start. The first thing that I would say wouldn't be, oh, well, they're not understanding. They don't want to learn. That's a cop out. It's a straight cop out. And so my first move would be to ask a bunch of questions, which is what I am known to do, is to ask a lot of questions to get to the root of the situation. Now, it's going to be important. We talk about buy-in a lot and different things, you know, that's a marketing term that is widely used. But what I want to say is this: if I can connect the teacher to the why about the process and why it supports them, why it protects them in the classroom and the business in general, they'll have a better understanding why we go through this process. It's not busy work. Onboarding is not about busyness. It's not about saying, oh, well, we have an onboarding process. It's not about any of that. It's about protecting the investment that you've made in your business and in the people that you've brought on board. It's heavy. It's weighty, and it's something that, again, is non-negotiable. And so if needed, when you see somebody's giving some resistance or pushback, do not assume why they're doing that. Do not assume that they're just against you and your business. What you want to do is simplify the steps for them, making sure that they're catching everything, assessing whether or not they understand what's happening, and also pointing out progress that you see in the classroom or in their day-to-day. If you see evidence that they're understanding, point it out right away. This is the same thing that we do as children. We see little, you know, Sarah or Johnny activating their classroom rules. We don't just walk past. You want to say, oh, I love the way that you're sharing, because it immediately brings it back to mind for them. Oh, wait a minute. So what I'm doing right now is the right thing to do. And it's like a memory for them to understand how they need to move forward. Same thing with new hires. When we see them doing something or activating in a way that we need to, it will reveal that our onboarding is working. Bring that to the forefront right away. Okay. So that's what I would say for anybody that's given some pushback, but you want to make sure that your expectations are clear. Sometimes we think we're being clear and we're just as confused as we can be. So we want to make sure that our own expectations are clear. And how do you do that? You step outside of yourself. You ask other people, does this make sense to you? What questions do you have after you heard me explain XYZ? We have to step outside of ourselves, because just because we understand it doesn't mean that the next person is going to understand it. And so again, onboarding is never optional. It's going to impact the children in the program. And I love that, because you said that earlier. At the end of the day, the person or persons that will be mostly impacted will be the children, and we do not want that. And so if pushback happens, again, see that as an indication that maybe this person isn't supported, maybe they don't understand, and then we need to get back to work as the owner, the leader, the manager.
And I will agree because I'm getting some new people over here on TikTok land. Hey y'all, hey, and Facebook viewers as well. How y'all doing? Great afternoon. This is our power hour. We're getting ready to wrap it up here shortly. Going to ask her one final question, but I wanted to go back over just for those that's just now coming in. We're talking about the classroom management onboarding. We're getting ready to do our workshop. I keep calling conference because I got told that this is a workshop. This is interactive. When you come to this workshop, this is one of our speakers that's going to be there, Coach Francis Davis, that's going to be talking about the importance of onboarding, classroom management onboarding. Not, oh yeah, she does a hiring onboarding for you. She does a leadership onboarding class for you. She even customizes them for you as well. And you can find it on her website. It's Serve Well Solutions. For those that's on TikTok, I'll make sure I try to tag her in here as well. But we're talking about just how does onboarding transfer the classroom? How does it, when you have a heavy onboarding system, when I mean heavy, I mean people can see that you are operating and, oh yeah, this whoever trained you properly. I can recall when I moved from one center and went to another center, and it was like, oh, well, how did you learn how to do this, and this? I am a forever learner. I can pick up something and learn something really quickly, but I also can implement, like, if I see if it's a problem, I'm not going to go to that direct and be like, Francis, it's a problem. It's a problem. No, I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to try my best to solve it and ask the director, hey, maybe there's something we need to implement inside our onboarding training that we need to teach. The simplest thing is, why is it important to take out the trash every day? Y'all don't think that's a classroom management step? Baby, it is. Why you think it's important to spray down the trash can, make it smell good? I am a pet peeve when I walk into daycares and I smell poop. I be like, ooh, it's a turn away for me. It is. It's like, no. And I get it. Yes, we deal with dirty diapers, but it don't have to smell like that. The same way with a uniform. Why do we wear this uniform every day? That's a part of your, not just your hiring onboarding, but also your classroom management onboarding, because you got to look the part. You got to look what you have. She told us in the first beginning of this, the expectations. If we're not talking to our teachers about, or our educators about our expectations in our program, we're not setting them up for no foundation. If our language keeps saying, oh, they just going to fail, they're not going to be great, you setting them up for failure yourself by your word choices of what's coming out your mouth. I also took note. It said, what does the teacher know about their expectations? Go around today in your building. If you in your child care facility, or if you in your boutique home facility, go right now and ask your educator, what do you think your expectations are?
That's good.
Ask your people that right now. What do they feel like classroom management is to them? And it's not to be like, oh, you didn't train them anything. That lets you know, hey, that's somewhere I need to help and support that staff member to make sure she understands what I expect out of her. What is it that her job is required? Support with hands-on practice. Stop yelling at these staff members, or, I told you to take out that trash. Why you can't wipe that counter down? She probably wiped it down, but it's not of what your expectations of cleaning the counter down, or wiping the tables, or how to stage the room for a tour. Instead of us yelling or getting frustrated with that staff member, you going home with a headache every day. How about we do some hands-on practice? So when y'all say y'all having staff members meetings, are they staff meetings, or are they just argument meetings? Oh, okay, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna continue on, because I'm gonna step on some toes. Some people gonna get mad, but y'all get what I mean. Stop having these staff meetings and they not staff meetings. That's just really complaint meetings. Let me tell you what I'm gonna complain about today. No, set the agenda to where you have at least 2 hands-on things that you're gonna teach your staff members. Now, Tiny Tigers, they can't say I don't do this, because I do. I say, okay, let's go over there. Maybe somebody don't know how to work Pro Solutions. Okay, that's a training resource. Let me show you how you add it to your cart and add the training there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna demonstrate on the screen and you do it. Okay, let me show you how to make the bleach solution and the soapy water solutions for your bottles. Instead of, why you ain't got no fresh bleach solution? Why you ain't got no bleach? You know the health department on that way. Why are we so stressed out about it? Do some hands-on practice. Make that part of your classroom management onboarding, where you make a video talking to yourself about how to make the beach solution, how to make, to the simple point, how to deep clean your rugs. I'm going into my training and I'm not going to do that. Daily check-ins. I had to put an ouch on this for myself because I know I got 2 staff members that I probably ain't checked in with them besides saying, give me my paperwork. But I went by the day. I said, hey, you got my paperwork? Okay, you can go home. You ain't got my paperwork. But that's a daily check-in. I count that off of the box. But you know, being more just insert yourself and say, hey, Shasha, how was your weekend? How did you do this weekend? Oh, okay. Letting them talk, you listen. As directors and assistant directors, we are over talkers. We don't take the time and just sit and listen. No distractions, just be you and that educator. And they feel when you're distancing yourself away. Because they be like, oh, she looking down at her phone now. She ain't paying me no attention. A daily check-in means you're checking in with them like, you know, hey, this person is really on board with this. Then she also gave us clarity, which everybody liked that clarity talk. Making sure that that clarity, they feel that clarity. They understand what's the clarity of the mission of this onboarding. That they not just like, oh, okay, well, for instance, you want me to do what today? Okay, I guess I do it. And they look just like this, like a deer in headlights when they talking to you. No, you want to make sure they understand what's your expectations, what's the clarity, what's the daily check-ins. I want to make sure that, hey, I'm clear of what instructions I give to you. She said something that's important. I know I pick on my friends and family. I say, okay, listen to how this sounds. Let me know if this sounds correct. Because maybe I came off kind of wrong or something like that. And I send you a Facebook message in a heartbeat and say, listen to how this sounds. Boom, 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 boom. And they be like, oh, they did kind of sound kind of rough, LaShawn. You could have said it this way, in a better way. Okay, cool. Oh, my friend Miss Tori, she's on here. I Facebook her in a minute and be like, this is what I said. How you think I should say it? In a thoughtful tone. You know, sometimes we got to check ourselves because we thinking that we're saying something in a way that is professional and it's not professional.
Right.
Or you're saying instructions that it went over their head. They don't understand what you meant by transition. They like, what is a transition? Are we fixing cars? Are you talking about the transmission? Girl, we said transition. Transition them kids from outside to inside. Like what you've been in this field for a long time. You training other educators. The other thing that she put down is supporting someone else. Make sure when you're doing this onboarding that they're able to reteach it to the next supporting teacher that's coming in that classroom to help them. It's not all just about that one educator. They be able to tell her, okay, this is how we do circle time. This is the schedule for the month. Stop writing these SOPs and putting them on paper, but you're not implementing them. You got a whole binder of SOPs. And none of your staff can tell you what their SOP is. They like, I don't know. She had us put a punch hole in them and put them in that binder over there and sign and say we did it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Some of these staff members that you go ask them something and they say, I don't know what the ratio is. You like, girl, you've been working here how long? You don't know the ratio? Check your SOP. Oh, okay. I guess that's what she said is in the paper. Wow. Or you quote your handbook. Ask some of your staff members about your handbook. Ask them, did they really fully read that handbook? That's a part of not just they hiring and onboarding, but they classroom management. They read that handbook when they say what day is payroll on. They read the handbook when they say when they can put in a request for vacation. Oh, yeah. Probably some staff members that's like, oh, no, she ain't talking about me. And she also talked about onboarding is to protect the teacher. It is to protect the teacher. I'm going to say that again. It's to protect you educators out there. This onboarding system is to protect you. It's just like when I tell people, I say, go read your handbook. It's in your handbook. It's in your handbook. That handbook is not just to be created just because it's created. It's to protect you. If you don't have a question or you can't reach the director or the next person that's in charge, go through your handbook and say, hey, let me see what else I need to do. This also helps with seeing if that staff member is overwhelmed. She gave us clues to when that staff member don't give you that negative feedback that they don't want to accept your training anymore or don't want to do the onboarding anymore. She gave you clues. She said they start feeling overwhelmed and they don't have the clarity to understand what you putting down at all. Then she said, check back in to do not assume, simplify the steps. Do y'all not know I had a staff member that couldn't really operate the vacuum cleaner. I was like, okay, well, I said, go get the vacuum. She will go get the vacuum cleaner. And I'm like, why? I said the vacuum, but both of them look the same. Do they not, y'all? A vacuum cleaner and a vacuum. If you got them side by side. So I kept wondering, why am I coming in the morning time and my floors wet? It was because she was using the vacuum cleaner and not the vacuum. What's simple for us is not simple for everyone. I can laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing when I was coming to them soaking wet rugs that you pay so much money for. And I said, I had to sit down. I was like, this is the vacuum. This is the vacuum cleaner. You don't notice that this one has a tank on it where you put solution, and this one just has the little thing that you just pull out and you dump the trash out. She was like, okay.
It's a whole training.
Okay. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a whole video about it. I did a whole video on Saturday morning training, and I did a hands-on video with a few other educators because I got tired of going through vacuum cleaners. I done went through 20 probably plus vacuum cleaners in that daycare center. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. It's some other child care providers out there that say, you know what? Forget the vacuums, you're going with brooms. We're going old school style. Get the brooms. So my last question to you, Coach Francis, before we finally get off here is, if one mindset shift every teacher should make doing, what's the one mindset shift that every teacher, every educator, we want to say educator, okay, should make doing onboarding to go from chaos to calm? Like, if you understand this, I'm going to say it again. If there's one mindset shift that can help an educator out there today, that's right now that she's dealing with, just like how, okay, I hear y'all talking about onboarding, but right now I got a chaotic classroom and I'm trying to take it to calm. I'm trying to make it to where Tuesday be peaceful. The remainder of this week will be peaceful. We're going to speak that and declare it in the name of Jesus. And I'm not about to look on Indeed for another job. I'm to that point to where I'm that educator that's like, hey, one more day of this loud screaming of this kid and I can't really think anymore. In my head, I'm going home with a headache. What is that one mindset shift that will help this educator to get her back on track of learning her onboarding and helping her keep her classroom from going from chaotic, from where she at right now? She in chaotic land and she want to be calm.
Yeah. First of all, I love this question because this is actually what I primarily focus on in anything that I do when I'm working with someone is mindset. We don't go into anything else until we have talked about mindset, because it doesn't matter what you learn or what you think you know. If your mind is not set already on accomplishing XYZ, whatever it is, you won't get there. And so mindset is going to be important. And what I would say to a teacher, what I would recommend is that they not wait for everything to be explained. Yes, it should be, but you don't want to wait for that. Start asking questions. Start observing, like be intentional about observing. Don't just come in and sign in and go to your room. Pay attention to the things that are going on around you. Pay attention to your leaders, how they communicate with each other, how the team communicates with each other. Pay attention to everything that is happening around you should be seen as a teacher. Okay. I would also say that you should seek clarity, make sure that you are getting clarity about everything that's going on in your workplace. This is going to be important. And this, I wasn't sure if I should speak on this because this is a topic that I haven't really heard as much in our industry. And this is what I'm going to speak on at the conference. I won't talk about it now because I know, especially with you don't want too many details, but I don't think a lot of people do this. And I want to bring this will be my first time speaking about it. And that is a self-onboarding framework. Sometimes when you step into the business, and onboarding is not given to you, you have to step into a self-onboarding framework. And not everybody understands that. I know when I started off in childcare, I didn't know that. I was operating in it because I was forced to from myself because there was no onboarding. And so I'm going to be sharing that story. But if we are given tools to self-onboard when it's not available, that is something that your mind has to be set to do. And if you don't know exactly how to walk into that, this particular conversation we're going to have at your I keep saying conference as well because that's what I'm used to, but at your workshop, this is going to be transformational for a teacher who was not onboarding. And so again, just to answer your question, I would say stop waiting. Do not wait to be told anything. Seek information if you must. Ask questions that you don't have answers to. Observe everything going on around you and seek out clarity from the people who are supposed to be giving you that information. And so that's the mindset shift that I would hope every teacher makes. And again, at your I keep getting ready to say conference. At your workshop, I'm going to literally give a framework on how to self onboard if you have not been onboarding. Because if I'm expected to be calm, it does not happen automatically unless I know what I'm supposed to be doing and why I'm doing it. That's when I can exhibit calmness because I'm not worried about anything. I'm not anxious to or trying to figure out what happens next. Just like in our classrooms with our children, when our children don't know what's happening next, we see an increase of behavior issues. When they know what's happening next, it provides a calmness in the room for the most part. Same thing with our new hires, same thing with our current teachers. When I know what is expected of me, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I know why I'm supposed to be doing this, I can then be calm, because I understand. And so that's what I would say as far as mindset shift. Initiate your knowledge, initiate the information that you need, ask the questions.
Yes, Francis, you did it. Look. Francis,
I was over here
so
like, I can't say too much.
And y'all, again, she's going to be one of our speakers at Unleash Your Teacher Superpower Workshop on September the 25th through the 27th. We have our VIP coming in on the 24th, where you'll be able to talk with Coach Francis, be able to speak with her and other speakers that will be on our platform as well. That will be coming on to do the Power Hour luncheon. And we would love to have y'all to share this with other educators. Let them know, hey, we're going to try to do these on Mondays and Thursdays to come on and just talk to educators. Even if you like, hey, I need some help today, and we can put you in a hot seat real quick. So that way you can say, we ain't just sitting here talking about it. We're actually doing this in our programs. We're actually helping other childcare owners out there in the field to making sure that, hey, you don't have another new hire that's not onboarded the correct way inside their classroom. Just because they finished their training hours, just because they have completed their new hire packet, you like, okay, now you're going to work in the pre-K classroom today. And they get in there and they have no idea what they just involved themselves into. Like, they don't know none of the kids. You might have introduced them one or two times to them kids, and they have no onboarding experience whatsoever. So come and meet us September the 25th through the 27th to get more. I want to hear more about this self-onboarding.
I'm so excited. I am so excited to talk about that.
I'm like, okay, self-onboarding. I need to know more about this myself, because we train our educators, and we all have been part of coaching programs that say, hey, you need an onboarding system, you need this, you need that. But to actually understand that, hey, some of us educators, directors, and owners are like, look, we tired of hearing the same thing. Can you show me what you're talking about? Can you show me how you're going to create this? This is why I say it's not a conference, it's more of a workshop, because we want you to bring your laptop, we want you to bring your team, we want you to bring whoever's a part of your administration team that's going to be executing this vision of creating this wonderful self-onboarding tool. So that way you're not sitting here like, okay, I gotta wait till Monday come and train my whole staff how to do this. No, I want you to create that video. I'm different. I want you to create that video while you're right there. We're going to take some pauses, some time to be like, hey, Create that video while you're right here.
Yeah.
When you go on lunch, I want you to
That's
come
good.
back and I want to see this video. I want to see this video that you actually implement what Coach Francis have taught you. Again, I thank you guys for joining me on TikTok world. Hey, y'all. Hey, TikTok family. Y'all know I love y'all over there. Y'all always supporting the EDU station. And for far as my Facebook family, thank y'all so very much. Thank y'all for sharing it. I seen somebody had shared the post and everything else. I appreciate that. Again, we'll be coming on more. I think we got next up is either the behavior specialist. Yep, she's next up. She's next to come up on a power hour next Monday. So she'll be coming up next Monday talking to you guys about a behavior system tool bag. I think she got something like a toolbox or tool bag. Oh, look, let me not tell it because yeah, when she was talking to me about it, I was like, oh, yeah. So we got to check, like again, what Coach Frank said, our language when it comes to dealing with behavior students. We got to change how we presenting ourselves, and that is a part of that onboarding as well. How do we coach that teacher to deal with little Jacob that's having a meltdown at the beginning of the day, and how we deal with little Sarah that's throwing a fit and everything else? The first thing we say is call his mama, call the mama. Call the mama. We don't think, let's sit down and actually have a conversation with this kid and see how to do that. So Miss Shakari is gonna be coming on talking to us, and next week, I think that's next week, she'll be talking to us about her behavior specialist, what she's gonna bring to the workshop. I'm gonna say conference again. Workshop, and how y'all can
say both.
And I want to first, before we get off live, I want to tell Shell because she came on, she gave her story. You get one free ticket for your staff or yourself.
Oh,
we'll
wow.
make sure.
Yeah.
We'll make sure.
Congratulations, Shell.
You did. She had no idea. She had no idea what them. She done stayed on here this whole time, baby. She been answering phone calls, talking to her staff, and moving this way, that way. So I said, you know
That
what?
is
And Coach
amazing.
Francis didn't have no idea either. So
I didn't. I was just
y'all
shocked.
never know what I come out with on my next lunch and learn. You never know. It might be $100 gift certificate from the EDU station. It might be a gift certificate from somewhere else. You never know. So join us again. And I'm gonna switch the times. I'm gonna do 12:30. That's where it give y'all enough time to bring my lunch. To bring my lunch, but it just give y'all enough time to come in. She said, great topic. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Thank you, Miss Tori, again for coming. And again, Shell, I will send over your ticket information once we get it all together. I'll make sure the back office send you your ticket so that way we know who we need to put on the ticket. Okay. I thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed and prosperous Monday. Again, let's get these onboarding let's get these classrooms right. Let's start with an onboarding system today. Talk to y'all later. See y'all at the conference.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now y'all know I never know how to end over here on TikTok world. I mean, one day I was still on TikTok, done drove y'all all with in the car and everything else, honey.
What?
I did. I was on TikTok for the longest, honey. Mom,
just hanging out.
My sister said, you know, you still on there. I didn't even notice I was still on, y'all. So I appreciate you again. Let me go here